Hello everyone. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. It would really help the channel out quite a bit. Thank you very much. Hello Graveyard Talkers, and welcome to another episode of Graveyard Talk, and I'm your host Randy. Today we're going to talk about a sad case. Sad case happened way back in 1982. We're going to be talking about a young lady by the name of Kimberly Wuerthele. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but W-U-E-R-T-H-E-L-E, Wuerthele. I think it's Wuerthele. But Kimberly was 21 years old, and Kimberly was highly addicted to drugs. Now, on February 26, 1982, Kimberly's mother and her brother was driving her to a rehab facility. They were probably forcing her to go the way it sounds, because on the way, Kimberly decided to jump out of the car. Now, from the reports, when she jumped out of the car, it was in Chicago. So the family did not report Kimberly missing to the authorities until June 22nd, 1982. 4 months. Now, I don't know about you, but if that was my child, I think I would have reported them a whole lot sooner than 4 months. But I can't judge them. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what her behavior was until that point. It doesn't say whether they were in contact with her until that point. But from what we can tell, after February, they never seen her again. So now we're going to jump back in the timeline until March of 1982. And on March 31st, 1982, here in Monroe County, Michigan, a young woman's body was discovered floating in Lake Erie. And I'm going to read to you the paragraph. On March 31st, 1982, a young woman's body washed onto the Lake Erie shores several hundred miles away from Portage, Indiana, in Monroe County. The body was naked except for a shirt tied around the waist. Officials said the woman had been strangled. The body was buried in an unmarked grave. So after the detectives here in Monroe County did whatever they did, just remember this is 1982. Computers were just becoming the thing. The Jane Doe was buried here. So now we're going to jump ahead until 2007. Now in 2007, a Portage, Indiana detective by the name of Janice Regner began digging into the cold case files. And in 2008, she come across our Jane Doe, Kimberly's case. In 2009, there was a detective north of here in a city called Garden City, and he had heard about the Jane Doe case down here. And so he started investigating because he had a cold case up there that the details of the case was very similar to Kimberly's case. So he asked the Monroe County authorities here to get permission to dig up the case, which they did. They dug up the case, but it wasn't until 2009 when they dug up the case. So the Portage detective found the case of Kimberly in 2008, and in 2009, because of the Garden City detective, they dug up Kimberly's body, and at that time they exhumed the body and they did DNA testing on it. Now remember, the detective in Portage, Indiana, Detective Rayner, she found the file in 2008 of Kimberly, the cold case file for her, but for whatever reason, it took her 3 years to find her two brothers. So she asked the two brothers if they would do a DNA test, and they said yes. And then apparently the DNA test was put into the system of the day in 2012, linking the systems, Ancestry.com and that kind of stuff was just becoming into being. But in 2012, they got a hit from one of the brothers using a database. On July 12th of 2012, the Monroe County Examiner confirmed that the Jane Doe 1982, buried here was indeed the body of Kimberly Worthiel. The family decided to leave her body here. They reinterred the body right back in the same spot, but they decided to leave Kimberly's body here. So Kimberly is buried here. She's buried in an unmarked grave. And we're going to do a spirit box session. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you the grave. And when you're looking at it, the head will be to the right and her feet would be to the left. And now we're back to my usual setup. So what you're looking at here is Kimberly's grave. Now Kimberly is the one with the flowers on it. And the other Jane Doe is just a few feet towards the camera. And like I said, you know, Kimberly was 21 years old. She had a horrible existence. So with that, to all the spirits that are here, to Kimberly, I am here to hear your story. I'm hoping that you'd like to talk to us. I want to know whether or not you're happy, how you're doing in the spirit world, anything you'd like to tell us. To the other spirits here, I know that you'd like to talk to us, and I promise you I will be back. But I really need to hear from Kimberly. So Kimberly, are you here with us today? So I heard yeah right in the beginning, and then I heard she's dead. So yes, we know Kimberly is dead, but I'd really like to talk to the spirit of Kimberly. I'd like to ask her some questions. Kimberly, are you willing to talk to me today?
Where? I'm different. There's long like the line was good. Not
Well, Kimberly, where? Right here. I'd like to talk to you right here, right now. So what we do know, Kimberly, is that you had a very tough teenage years up to your 21st. You jumped out of the car. I assume it's your mother's, probably maybe your older brother's car in the Chicago area. So I heard this trip. So Kimberly, can you tell us why you jumped out of the car? I heard to run. I heard to run in there. We'll have to see what else she might have said. So, did you know that your mother and your older brother was taking you to a rehabilitation facility for your drug abuse?
You know, circular straw balances, which are
Sounded like she said yes in there, yeah. And what happened to you when you jumped out of the vehicle? Where did you go?
living. My friend step looking around. There.
So you jumped out of the vehicle in February, and your body wasn't found until until March 31st. Were you in contact with your family any time after you jumped out of that vehicle?
Eternal.
And when you jumped out of that vehicle, where did you go? You're in Monroe County, Michigan. Did you come to this particular area? I thought I heard just walking. I'll have to listen to it, but I thought I heard her say just walking.
Again.
So are you telling me that you walked from the Chicago area to Monroe to this area?
That I was and it was I like that. Shut off.
So what I'm trying to figure out is how in the world did you end up here? You didn't know anybody here in Monroe County. Were you hitchhiking along the way?
Only no. And that's right.
So I didn't hear really anything. Like I said, you know, as I always say, there's a lot of stuff they put on the videos that in the audio part that I don't hear when I'm sitting here. And maybe they just want me to hear later instead of hearing now. I don't know. But how in the world did you end up in Monroe? Sound like someone brought me there. So, did you know the person who brought you here? All right, Kimberly. So let's get down to the real reason we're here. They found your body floating in the river, in the lake rather, Lake Erie. Apparently, someone had strangled you, and the only piece of clothing you were wearing was your blue shirt that was tied around your waist. What happened? Can you tell us what happened? So I heard a couple things in there. I really don't want to. I'm going to listen to it, and see what they said. I don't want to mention it here, at least right now. Kimberly, who killed you? So I heard the name Susan in there. So was it a woman who killed you? Was it a woman who killed you? And can you tell me that person's name? Can you really draw the energy that you need to draw and tell me the person's name who strangled you to death?
Great. You
So, was this done in Monroe County, or was it done in a different city, or do you know?
And yeah, where still get
Don't know. Wasn't aware, don't know. So your body ended up in in Lake Erie. Do you know how long you were in Lake Erie?
I think on it. And I look. I tell that that yeah. Okay. But
All right. So I don't know how much of that I'm getting, how much information is there. I think we were talking to Kimberly. I don't think she really knows what happened. I got an idea how she got here. Um, and would not have been a very pretty way of how she got here. Kimberly, what do you think about being here 260 miles away from home? Your family's all in the Portage, Indiana area, and you're here in Michigan. Are you okay with that? I did hear yep in there. So I'm assuming that whether it was because of your drug addiction problem, you did not get along with your family.
That one. It's another. Oh, Mike.
Okay. And are you being treated well here by the spirits, by the other people who are here, the other spirits in the cemetery? Are you being treated well?
No. And I just.
I don't know. I heard I am very loud, very clear. And then down below, I heard nope. I heard a male spirit, I am, and a female spirit voice saying nope. And I'm going to tell you, from all the other videos I did, I don't think they care whether their voice comes across in a male or female tone, regardless of what they were. They're just trying to get it out, trying to pick something that is representative of what they want to say. So we'll try it again. Like I said, I heard I am and I heard nope. And I only want Kimberly to answer to the spirits. I only want Kimberly to answer. Kimberly, are you being treated well here by the other spirits? Okay, well, we'll listen to that. And are you happy here? Are you happy where you are? Are you peaceful? Sounded like I heard peaceful that I died. Had to be a heck of a way to go, Kimberly. So if you could tell us anything about your feelings on your life, um, would you have done anything different um, when you were 21 years old? What do you think about it taking 30 years for the authorities to identify you? Did you want to be identified?
family different strings away. But
So you're here in an unmarked grave. I know where you're at, so I will put a find a grave tag on it so people will know where to find you when they want to.
so so Mike is in California.
Would that be okay? Would it be okay if other people like me who come here to sit here and talk to you, would that be okay? So we'll go back to the question. I don't know if you answered. Do you have anything? Do you have anything to say about it taking 30 years for them to identify you? Or are you happy, or are you upset that they? Let's put it this way: are you happy they identified you, or are you upset that they finally identified you?
So about me.
Sounds like right in the beginning I heard happy. If you, knowing what you know now, do you think there was any way you could have stopped yourself from your drug addiction? Hardly, and no. Alrighty. I don't know what else to ask you on it. I hope that you are comfortable here. Your family decided to leave you here. I don't understand that. Maybe it was a financial cost. I don't know. Okay. So with that, I think we'll end today's session. Kimberly, I want to thank you very much for talking to us here. And I hope that you are resting in peace here. I'm sorry that you had such a short life on this earth and that drugs really, really got a hold of you.
Our door walls.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on today's episode. I hope you found it interesting. Kind of sad. I've been following this case for years and years and years, and it's always bothered me. I didn't know she was buried next to another Jane Doe. So with that, thank you again for coming along on my journey. Just another part of it. There's happy ones, there's sad ones. This is a sad one. And with that, I'll talk to you all on the next one.